Hi there everyone, your Power here with another vlog. So earlier today there was a Nintendo Direct. I didn't do like a reaction video to it or anything like that because I was busy at work. Although I did watch the Direct at work because it was a slow day, I needed to pass the time, so that's going to be my excuse. But first off, I'm just going to be talking about a few of the things that interest me in the Direct, but the main meat and potatoes is going to be about a specific thing, so yeah. Anyways, first off, Chrono Cross being available is something that interests me greatly because I really enjoyed Chrono Trigger whenever I played it for the DS. Back whenever I was in high school, I played it like my junior or senior year of high school. I don't remember, but it's been a while, and I enjoyed experiencing Chrono Trigger through that game. So being able to experience Chrono Cross and to an extent Radical Dreamers is something I'm looking forward to. Then there's Nintendo Switch Sports, which is the next game in following Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Very excited for those, or for that game, because with the Wii Sports series, or I guess it'd be more apt to call it the Nintendo Sports series, is always fun to play with either by yourself, mostly with other people. And I'm really looking forward to playing the volleyball game in it, because I do have that passing interest in volleyball. So, yeah. Now, third off, there's some things that were shown for Nintendo Switch Online that are coming soon. Or they might be out now, I don't remember. But there is Earthbound Beginnings and Earthbound. Two games I love very much, and the fact that they're more accessible to people is always good. I'm always interested in seeing people experience the Earthbound/Mother games. And although we're not getting Mother 3 probably anytime soon, due to the fact there's no official English version, I'm still holding out hope, kind of. But I am keeping my expectations tempered with expecting Mother 3 to be localized. But the fact that the other two Mother games are coming to the Nintendo Switch, it's exciting. There's some other things that were shown throughout the Direct that were also exciting as well, but those were the things that interested me the most. There's things like Klonoa, the new Kirby game, Splatoon 3 that are pretty cool, but I don't have enough of an interest to... Like, they're not high on my priority list, basically. But the very last thing that they showed in the trailer, that is what I'm going to be talking about today. They showed a trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the next game in the Xenoblade Chronicles series, and I'm very excited. Very excited. Whew. This is exciting. Now, I love the Xenoblade Chronicles series. If it wasn't obvious, I mean, all I need to do is just point towards the two shelves of official Xenoblade Chronicles merch, plus the fan-made Core Crystal on the top shelf. The collection is still growing, and then also Xenoblade Chronicles... Well, it's technically a Smash 4 poster when Shulk was revealed, and then the Xenoblade Chronicles X poster there that I got from GameStop's site, I believe. But yeah, I love the Xenoblade Chronicles series. So me not talking about it would be really weird. So I'm gonna be doing something I've actually never done before, which is I'm gonna be analyzing the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 trailer. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna be talking about it. Now, there is a disclaimer here that I'm going to be mentioning right off the bat. So, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is going to be a sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So, I will be talking about spoilers to both of those games when necessary. Also, Future Connected and Torn of the Golden Country if I need to talk about those as well. And just in case I need to talk about spoilers to Xenoblade Chronicles X, then I will do so as well. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers from any of those things, then probably don't want to watch this trailer. But yeah. Anyways, let's get on with it. So, right off the bat, the first thing I thought of when I saw this character is his design reminds me of...
Fighting in order to live.
I think it's the main character of Shin Megami Tensei 5, just because like they both have like the ponytail and like similar hair color and all that stuff. But so actually pausing on this, diving right into Xenoblade Chronicles 1 spoilers, but the flute that this character is playing, I'm going to assume that there is some importance to it just because there are some design elements here that are very reminiscent of Zanza from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I don't know what that could mean for the story of the game, but that is a thing.
And living to fight.
Don't know what song he's playing. Then we got a shot here of a battlefield with... These look like they could be HOM soldiers wearing like Defense Force gear and using Machina-based weaponry, looking at like this laser sword thing. I don't know, but I assume these are like Defense Force people. And like this is their updated design. Because there is the assumption here that this takes place in the distant future of those games. Of 1 and 2 at the very least. We got these vehicles here, which look like they're Machina versions of the mobile artillery. So, yeah, I wonder what that could mean. And then we have this thing. So looking at it, in terms of its design, it very much resembles Metal Face from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Looking at the face here, the legs have some similarities. These arm cannons remind me of Metal Face's back cannon. So this could be just some more Machina technology, because Metal Face was technically created by a Machina.
Ionios.
And here, let me just go back. We get to hear the name of this world.
Ionios.
Ionios. So, I assume that Ionios is the combined world of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because at the end of 1, Shulk creates a new world, or more likely, like, ends up back on Earth. That's what my assumption is. And at the same time, I assume Rex does the same, where after Allrest is basically destroyed, the Titans form their new Elysium, and I assume that also takes place on Earth. I don't know, but I'm working under the assumption that this is the combined setting of both of those places, where at the end of 1, we get to see like the remains of the Bionis, and I assume like that's within close proximity to the new Elysium, and then eventually they just became Ionios. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Tell me.
Then we have this character again, wielding what looks like... it looks like the Monado. Specifically, the Monado Rex, which was Shulk's weapon in Future Connected, which is very similar to his original Monado, but it's designed with Machina technology. So I assume that this is just an improvement from the Monado Rex design, having a similar color scheme, having the blue laser blade and everything, having like the similar circle pattern thing in the middle.
What would possess you to...
Now here we have what looks to be a Gormati, or a blade resembling a Gormati, because just pausing right there, we can see a core crystal, which doesn't look like a typical core crystal, so there could be the possibility that she is a flesh eater, similar to Nia. I mean, like, the comparisons are just compounded due to like the similar color schemes of their clothes, the twin rings, so I don't know who exactly this character is, but she definitely looks to be a main character, and her being most likely a flesh eater is probably going to be important to the plot.
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe.
Now this character here, one, if you look at this chin, it very much is similar to the 3 at the logo that shows up at the end of the trailer, so he's probably going to be an important character, but Luxon posted on Twitter that this guy is probably
Refuse to believe you're
at least part Machina, due to him using what looks like a Machina weapon, having a same like skin tone as a Machina. So either he is like a full-blooded Machina with just an unusual design, or maybe a half Machina or something. I don't know, but
I knew it. I saw this.
it's interesting. Then we have this shield hammer character who might be a Blade, seeing like the blue line there on her arm might be like an ether line, similar to how Blades like have those ether markings sometimes. I don't know. I don't know if this game is going to have like a Blade system
Saw
similar to
this
2.
you know.
And then there's this character here. Let me just play his voice clip and talk about him a little bit more.
Now.
So, his voice clip there, he has, I think it's the same voice actor as Van Damme from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so I don't think this is exactly the same Van Damme. He might be a reincarnation or just a new iteration of Van Damme because he's a recurring character in the Xeno series. But the fact that he very much resembles the one from 2 might make him a descendant of Van Damme. I don't know how that would work, but that's very much possible. Or just make him a new Van Damme, or a reincarnation. That's always a possibility.
Now.
Fine for you, isn't it?
Then we see these flutes again, which are important, and we get to see... I'm gonna say these are the two main characters, the Gormati person and then the
All that
person in
time
red,
I've got-
just because we've seen them multiple times in the trailer. And I don't know how important these flutes are. One is a white flute, one is a black flute. I think he was playing the black flute earlier. But, I don't know. Then, here we have a Hyentia with what looks like a Machina weapon. And I think we see this Hyentia later on in the trailer as well. Then we see this character that looks like Akos, at least to me. And he uses paper birds. Yeah, just his design, like with the similar hairstyle, reminds me of Akos, and to an extent HB from Xenoblade Chronicles X. Then we have some nice shots here of one of the areas. Some waterfalls in the distance with a rainbow, this big rock spire, the plains. Just looks really cool, like in all these cliff faces.
March.
This area is also really, really interesting.
Pierced by great.
So, this area, not here, I think it's the distant fingertip from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, which is on the Fallen Arm. Has a similar platform here, and then the edge of it, where you fight the Wicked Salos. Then there's an item orb over there on the right side of the screen.
Pierced by great.
And then here we get to see the Mechonis Sword. I'm like 99% sure that's the Mechonis Sword / Sword Valley. If it's not, then I don't know what that is. But if it is the Mechonis Sword, I don't know what it's doing, because the Mechonis was destroyed in the events of 1, and it didn't look like any part of it survived, so why the Mechonis Sword is here, I don't know. Maybe it just got blasted off before it got destroyed, and this is where it ended up. I don't know. I don't know what this area is either.
Sword.
Then right back here, in this brief shot, get to see some item orbs, but we get to see what looks like a finger from the Fallen Arm. Again, with a distant fingertip there. So, I don't know what that means. Also, my camera is about to overheat. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. The camera was overheating. I have attempted this multiple times, and there's actually like a failed recording of this because I wasn't recording my screen or anything. Oops. So, yeah. My camera... This is also a nice test to see like how well my camera can do with long recordings. But, anyways. Yeah. Definitely the Fallen Arm. Most likely. And it ended up in some desert-like area with some really pretty orange leaves. Did I also talk about like the vehicles that showed up earlier? Did they show up earlier, or am I thinking of like later on? I'm thinking of later on. Oops. Yeah, there's this thing, this Machina vehicle with a metal face design. That metal face mech that I talked about earlier. Could be this thing that just transformed into vehicle mode. I don't know. If so, that'd be really, really cool. Then we have some brief shots of some other places. This area reminds me a lot of Mor Ardain, or maybe it's a Machina city. I don't know, but there we go. It's a place. Whether it's like Mor Ardain or a Machina city in the future, I don't know, but I'd like to explore. There's a lot of places here that I would just love to explore. There's this place. I don't know where this place could be, or what this vehicle is for. It could be like a Hyantia vehicle, but I like the waterfalls in the background, because it like goes like whoosh, 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 if that makes sense. I don't know, waterfalls are cool.
It's the only way.
And then we get to see more of this design. So seeing this this vehicle design and then seeing this makes me think like this is all like Hyantia technology, maybe. Or maybe some other kind of Machina technology just with a white color scheme.
It's the only way you're gonna
And
defeat
then you can slide on
the
tight
real
ropes.
enemy.
Got this nice shot of a jungle area. Maybe it's like a section of the Gormott Titan. I don't know. Like maybe an unexplored part of it that you didn't get to see in 2. Then there's this, which reminds me of Leftheria. With this really cool monster thing. So the fact that we're getting new monsters is really cool. And there's a Taos. Then another new monster here. This seahorse gator thing with some humanoid reptile riding it. I don't know. Then we get to see swimming, as well as the fact that there's 4 party members in the overworld, which is something that is new. Unless it's 2 people with blades. I don't know, but we get to see that Hyantia girl again. And then Akos / HB, the main character, and I think that's the cat girl. I don't know, but you get to do like a dolphin jump, so that's neat. And then, ooh, right over here. So right over here, this vehicle looks like Junks. And then there's a sea serpent monster in the background. So the fact that you get to control a vehicle is pretty cool. And then in the background, that looks like the back of like the Bionis head where Aerith C is. I don't know. Because that was shown in the very end of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. But where the Bionis horn is, I don't know. I don't know what this place is either. That looks like a new city. I don't know, but who knows? And then we have that vehicle shooting a laser.
Life is lost. I will.
More just cutscene stuff, I assume.
You shoulder it all alone.
But we get to see like that the Gormati girl is teaming up with Akos person, because you get to see like those paper birds from before.
What good filling up these?
Also, she's fighting a Hyantia girl with what looks like a shield axe. Great axe, I think, actually. There's no shield axe. I'm combining weapons from 2.
What good filling up these?
Then, right here, we have 2 Nopon. I don't know what these Nopon are, like, what their names are. I assume the red one might be descended from Ricky. I don't know what this hat thing is on the teal one. I don't know, but the fact that we have Nopon here, who could be potential party members, is neat. Especially since one of them does... Actually, they both look like they have different weapons, so... Yeah. Now, we have that Hyantia girl before. It might be a different one. I can't really tell. And it's hard to see here, but she is half Hyantia, but with black wings instead of white wings. So, I don't know. Maybe the Hyantia have just integrated with other races. Sorry, the camera is overheating, so kind of, again, learning the limitations of this camera. But, yeah, this girl with the black Hyantia wings makes me think that the Hyantia have just integrated with other races other than Homs, resulting in, like, different colored wings. I don't know, or maybe it's just the lighting. Maybe she does have white wings, but the lighting is making them look black. I don't know, because I think that's the same girl that showed up earlier in the trailer. Or maybe a different one. Who
The
knows?
friends we've lost. The flame.
And we get a nice, like, look at the two main characters again. With the twin rings, we get to see a closer look at the Minato-like weapon, which again might be an improved version of the Minato Rex, or just something else entirely. But the weapon looks really, really cool. And the fact that the guy is dressed differently than he was at the very start of the trailer makes me think that there's customizable clothing, maybe similar to one where like different armor that you have equipped will have different looks to it. Because with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you could change the look of the characters, but it was done through challenge mode. You had to get certain equipment in challenge mode, so yeah.
Flame clock. It has to go.
And we get a closer look at the Gormati girl with her core crystal that looks like she's part flesh eater. So yeah. I mean, she might not be a Gormati, but a blade resembling a Gormati, similar to Nia. And here, we have what is most likely an adult Melia. Similar hairstyle, similar wings, dressed in black, wearing a mask. I don't know, but I like it. I do like Melia a lot. Some might call me a simp for her, but I guess it's true.
They must be.
But the fact that she is an older Melia is it's a little bit of an indication to how far off in the future this is, just because of Hyentia age a lot slower than Homs do. So even if she looks to be an adult, she's probably like lived past the lifespans of like Dunban, Shulk, Ryan, and everyone else. So that's a bit depressing to think about.
For this world. They must be.
And then we have Nia here, also wearing a mask, with her core crystal, her outfit, or an updated look to her outfit from 2, at least her blade outfit. And because she's a flesh eater, she also has a very long lifespan. And the fact that the other Gormati girl is fighting a Hyentia girl makes me think that Melia's faction and Nia's faction are fighting against each other for whatever reason. I don't know, but that's very much a possibility. I don't know why. I hope that gets explained. I don't know why they're wearing masks, but it's very much obviously these two characters. But it is nice to see them again.
Raised without a trace.
Now, I would like to see like how Melia and Nia handle like growing up after seeing like all their friends die, but yeah. And this very last shot is very similar to the last shot of the first trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. In fact, we have the Sword of the Mechonis from 1 and Uriah from 2, which was, again, shown at the end of 2. Not the Mechonis sword, but Uriah. So that just further shows that these two games are connected now, even more so. But this is just a really cool shot. And here's a 3 with the same, like, the 3 having the same design as the Machina guy's chin. Probably important, but yeah. Again, what the Sword of the Mechonis and Uriah are doing in this game, I don't know, especially because Uriah looks like it's decaying, which is also kind of depressing because it's a very pretty Titan on the inside. But yeah. Very, very exciting. And the cool part is this game comes out in September 2022, which is around my birthday. Which is nice. Oh yeah, that's it for the trailer, but very, very excited. So, going off the assumption here that this takes place like in the distant future of both 1 and 2, like where their worlds just combined into each other. Now, I would like to see descendants of some previous characters from either 1 or 2, like any of Rex's descendants, if he has any, or like Shulk, or like Ryan, or whatever. But one thing I'm very curious about is if Alvis / Ontos have any relevance to the story, or if the Aegis has any relevance to the story. The Aegis being Pyra and Mithra, or if Alvis / Ontos and the Aegis both have relevance because them being like parts of the Trinity core processor makes them have that connection with each other, or if the Conduit is going to make an appearance here, or if there's going to be any connections to any of the other Xeno games, like Future Connected would imply. Now, I haven't experienced the other Xeno games, but there is... I've seen some stuff on the internet, like just from people theory crafting, how the laser that gets shown from the Rift in Future Connected might be the same one from Xenosaga. I don't know, but if there's any references to the other Xeno games, that would be very interesting. If Cosmos comes back, or Telos, I don't know, but there's just a lot to speculate on at this point, especially because we haven't seen much. I mean, we got to see like some story stuff, sure, but we didn't get to see like any other gameplay besides exploring. We don't know what the battle system is going to be like, if it's going to be more similar to 1 or 2, or a hybrid of them, or something else entirely different. I don't know. There's always a possibility because there's these two warring factions that if Ionius is supposed to be on Earth, if that could lead into the backstory of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't know. I'm just like wildly speculating at this point, but there's again a lot to speculate on, and I'm very, very curious to see more stuff get revealed for this game. They've shown off artwork for some of the characters. I think they even gave the name of like the Machina type character. But yeah, I don't know. So now I'm on the Nintendo UK site because apparently there's some things that were officially revealed here. But they did confirm that the name is Ionios, Aionios. Then we have Kiev, a nation where mechanical technology was developed, probably using Machina technology. Armies are consisted of units mainly of combat vehicles. They use small mobile weapons operated by soldiers around mobile artillery. Good stuff. Then we have Agnes, a nation strong in ether. And then their forces are built around units that specialize in ether combat, and they fight with small mobile autonomous weapons that use ether technology. Probably Nia's faction here, looking at that, with Kiev's being Melia's faction. 6 soldiers hailing from these nations will take part in the Grand Tale with life as its central theme. We have Noah, one of the main protagonists, who is Shin Megami Tensei 5 lookalike. Is also an off-seer who mourns for soldiers who've lost their lives on the battlefield, and he wields the weapon that looks like a Monado Rex. Lance is the Machina-looking person, and looking at the screenshot, he definitely looks like he's Machina to some extent. Uni, E-U-N-I-E, a childhood friend of Noah and Lance, who has a sharp tongue and rough personality. She specializes in healing. Okay, then. Different than the other high-end data character that we've had in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, Melia, who is more like a mage-type character. Mio, the other protagonist of the story, is a soldier of Agnes. Okay, so we have the two like main characters, Mio and Noah, being from different sides of this what looks like a big war. So I'm really interested to see how they come together and maybe put an end to this war, or maybe there's like something much larger in scale that will be revealed later on. I don't know. We have Tyon, the tactician, then Senna, who is an ally of Mio and Talon. Okay then. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We get 3 characters from each side. So, there's that. Details. That's September 2022 needs to arrive faster, but it's all just very, very interesting with all of this, and all the stuff like I was speculating on earlier. with like seeing Alvis or Pyra and Mythra or whatever. That's still stuff that's on my mind. But the fact that we have some like official names for all this is still, it's still pretty neat. So yeah. Anyways, that's really all I have to talk about without me repeating what I've said before throughout this. But I'm probably gonna be watching this trailer a bajillion more times to see if there's anything I missed. But if you want to talk about the trailer, or if there is anything significant that I missed, then feel free to do so. If you just want to gush about it, also feel free to do that, because I've just been doing that this entire vlog. So yeah, really, really excited for this game, and I can't wait to see more info, specifically the gameplay, and probably more of the story as well. But I'm really interested to see what the battle system is going to be like, and to see if there's going to be a blade system or not, or if there's going to be like a hybrid battle system between 1 and 2, or something entirely different. But yeah, very, very excited. Anyways, I'm just gonna end it off. This is gonna be a really difficult vlog to edit, because I've had to like just stop recording multiple times because of the camera overheating and whatnot, and then me capturing my screen is a whole other element to it. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it off here. Thank you all so much for watching, and again, feel free to share your thoughts on this or point out things that I missed, because I probably did miss some things. Anyways, I'm just gonna end it off here. So, see y'all next time for another vlog, and thank you all so much for watching. Also, as a quick little behind the scenes thing, this is basically how I had my camera propped up. On top of this box, on this tripod, with the keyboard on my lap. Just because the tripod itself was not tall enough. Oh well, it worked.